Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson, live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. Today is October 13th, 2025. I want to make a quick video, talk to you guys a bit about topic that I've been involved in for a very, very long time. So a lot of people know me from the Ethereum days or the Cardano days, but I very briefly was involved in my very first crypto project a long time ago. It was called BitShares. Actually, it's the paper we wrote. BitShares is a peer-to-peer polymorphic digital asset exchange, and I wrote it with Stan and Dan back in 2013. So this was actually the very first algorithmic stablecoin and the very first DEX in the history of the cryptocurrency space. And BitShares successfully launched. It was kind of ahead of its time. It had a kit called Graphene, which was kind of like the parity substrate of its time, first to market with delegated proof of stake. But the algorithmic stablecoin was something that we chased for a really long time. And it was a lot of fun to see how people never let that dream die and led to things like MakerDAO, which came from the BitShares team. And then later on, Luna, which collapsed horrifically. Well, anyway, Djed, if you take a look at Djed, it's stablecoin, algorithmic stablecoin that we created in partnership with Cody, just to understand how to do that, uh, has been a really fun 2-year experiment where we've learned an enormous amount. So I asked this very simple question here. I said, analyze the Cardano Djed stablecoin and tell me what range it has traded in over the last 2 years, 99.9% of the time. So I'll read this off to you guys. The Cardano Djed stablecoin is designed to maintain a dollar peg, but has experienced significant volatility since its launch. Over the past 2 years, Djed has traded primarily in a tight band around 99 cents to $1, in a vast majority of time reflecting its intended function as a stablecoin. However, there have been few notable periods deviated significantly from its peg, notably a spike at 246 and a dip to 55 cents, though these are extreme outliers. For over 99.9% of all trading days the last 2 years, Djed has traded within 97 cents to $1.03. And the extreme outliers were extremely rare events, and they were isolated events. So people think that an algorithmic stablecoin, it has to maintain a peg 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 100% of the time in order for it to be a real asset. Algorithmic stablecoins are volatility dampeners. And so basically the goal of them is to dampen volatility so that the asset 99.9% of the time trades within a reasonable range. And so in this case, 97 cents to $1.03. And Djed's been on market now for about 2 years, and we've learned a lot from basically the experiment. And it's gotten to a point where I do believe that there's some merit to the model. It needs an overhaul and needs a redesign, and we need to kind of do a large scale research project to take it to the next level. And actually, I think algo stablecoins on midnight are going to be the killer feature because you get the algorithmic stability, transactional privacy, these two things together, and no custodial risk. Also, Midnight is designed to have a basket of assets because the way the capacity exchange on Midnight works, it means that you can pay transaction fees in Ether and Bitcoin and Sol and ADA and a litany of other cryptocurrency options. Well, that means there's going to be a lot of these cryptocurrencies on that ledger. So if you want to build a multi-asset collateral basket to kind of dampen volatility a little bit, that's probably the next evolution of Djed. And then for applications that require dollar all the time, if you have something that over a multi-year period dampens volatility tremendously, then you can create a structured financial product on top of that to give an insurance guarantee up to a certain amount of a dollar redemption right for some sort of fee or price that you pay. So a derivatives market basically can form. You'll never get 100% stability. It's just not possible because these are highly volatile assets and these are highly manipulated markets. But one of the coolest things is that we've seen ADA collapse to 27 cents, massive collapse, like 70% value reduction, and of course rebounded because they were manipulated markets. And Djed fell to 55 cents, but Djed completely recovered to its peg within 5 hours. That's a volatility dampening mechanism, and it's really extraordinary from that viewpoint. You have to build your DeFi around the fact that it is a peg that has eventual consistency, not day to day, minute to minute, second to second stability. So what you have to have is a trading mechanism that when there's high volatility, you freeze the Djed deposit for a period of time. And then the markets recover, it trades back up, and then it comes back in. If it's just all algorithmic, it won't recognize that this is an ephemeral concern, and then the DApp collapses. So you have to do some slightly different things to get these things to work completely. And Jet is very much kind of an experiment and a beta test, and it's by no means a perfect model. And there's been a lot of lessons learned in the process of building it that we would do differently if we actually tried to make it a real product that launched at scale with billions of dollars of liquidity behind it. But net, I'm really proud after 12 years inside the industry to finally have built an algorithmic stablecoin that actually was able to hold its peg relatively well. Trading for 2 years between the bounds 99.9% of the time of 97 cents to $1.03 with an asset that's gone from $3 down to 25 cents up to $1.60 down to now about 70 cents with huge amounts of volatility and collapses like Luna and FTX is really crazy when you think about it. And it's really magical when you think about it. So, one of the things we'll do for 2026 is that we would like to get to a point where we bring a lot of stakeholders together and we discuss the future of algo stablecoins and what properties would be required to improve the model from all the lessons that we've learned. And that would be a fun thing to do. We're really busy with RealFi, the launch of Midnight, as well as the Quantum Hosky. So there's a lot of moving pieces there and a lot of bells and whistles that we have to kind of work our way through. But it would be fun to return to Jet and kind of scale that up, especially now that we're starting to get into these multi-asset things like Bitcoin DeFi and XRP DeFi and so forth. But I figure I'd make a quick video and just congratulate the Djed team on what they've been able to deliver and put together. It's been a very long road, and there's been a lot of lessons to kind of grok through. And it's a very small team, only a few people, all things considered. And its origins were pretty interesting too. And it's gone through many different market cycles and market conditions. And the fact that it's still here, still going strong, and it's traded in that 99.9% window between 97 cents and $1.03 is a testimony to a pretty good design, all things considered. So algo stable coins, never give up the faith, never give up the dream. People want stability. I think there's a DeFi approach to produce it, especially if you have winners and losers inside that setup, and you're prepared to pay a premium for it. Asset-backed stable coins are, of course, a thing, but do understand they're completely centralized. They have an issuer. They can be frozen at any time, and everything you buy is tracked. That's the downside. If those are things that are important to you, your only option is an algorithmic stable coin. So there you go. Quick video. Have a look at Djed. And if you're interested in the topic of algorithmic stable coins, we'll probably have a Djed summit at some point, bring everybody together, have a long conversation about it, and see if there's a path to bring it into the Midnight ecosystem to be private as well. Cheers.